Okay, watch this next video. If this doesn't convince you that you or most anybody else can compete with the big guys for a product or for a new product, man, yeah, it's amazing what's going on out there. There's a young student, just barely out of college, like a month or whatever. He got $70,000 for an idea on wireless earphones, And actually the way he did that is that he was a soccer player at a college, a small college in Virginia, and he broke his ankle or something like that. He couldn't play it, so he's exercising a lot in the gym. And the wires on your cell phone to listen to your music, whatever you're listening to, would always get screwed up somehow on the exercise machines. So he said, why isn't there like a wireless things like that? I mean, that seems possible nowadays. So he figured it out. He took a year or two because he was doing part-time, in school. He was getting a degree in economics and stuff like that, and figured it out. And what's more important than that, and it cost him very little money, is that he also was able to get experts for a fraction of the cost. I mean, he went on like one of the sites called Elance, and I think they just changed their name recently, and put a little ad because he didn't know, he figured out with people in China and other places like that how to make it electronically, but he had to make it look slick. How do you do that? He didn't know how to do it. And for next to nothing, he got some guy by putting an ad, on the internet, who was just left this big manufacturer, who does things like this, and just was dying to work for him for next to nothing until they got a new job, to help him out, because it was an exciting project or whatever. And now he's making it happen. $70,000, man, that's going to pay all his student loans probably. But more importantly, he's got a career. And what encouraged him more, you'll see in the interview, is that, man, he went to work for one summer in some big, financial services industry, and he said, boy, they worked him like hell, and he was so boring and whatever. And now he loves working like hell for himself. That's why work is fun if you enjoy it. We think of work is miserable because we're doing something that we don't enjoy. When you find something you really enjoy, then work isn't work. It's hard fun. Not hard work, it's hard fun. And that's the key in life. So there's a fellow, 20, 21 years old, who did this. Now he's learned about the new life. Now the rest of us have to realize that that's possible, because we didn't grow up like that. He'll know nothing else different for his whole life now. And wants to do something else, just get it all himself, find out, get the money, or on crowdfunding and started, get the expertise that he doesn't really know for next to nothing, and put it together, and he's done. And that's what's so neat. I think what's so exciting about what we're living in today, never before in the history of at least my history, which is 72 years already, that has been so easy to do things like that and get your control of your life back again, and feel really satisfied more in life because you're doing something you really want to do, and working hard is fun. If it's stuff that you want to work on. Like we love playing a sport. If we like the sport, we'll play it 24 hours a day. Well, there's work like that too. If you like it, you find what you like, man. Time isn't an issue. Hard work isn't an issue because you're having fun every second. So watch this interview. Well, Michael McCarthy from Get T-Rex. And T-Rex is really wireless earphones that now I can go exercise. I'm running and John, I don't get caught up in my cord. I exercise on my rowing machine and my cord doesn't smash in my phone or anything like that. And you just 6 weeks or 3 weeks out of college, and you got almost $70,000 for your idea on this already? Man, that's amazing. Why the hell hasn't anybody thought of this before?
That's an awesome question. I'm not really sure. I really kind of got the inspiration for it when I was training for soccer, and I would always, hop on the treadmill for a 2 or 3 mile run, and I'd put my phone up on that, little ledge.
Right.
And almost every time I went running, either my arms would hit the cords and my phone would go crashing off onto the treadmill and it'd end up, on the other side of the room, or my arms would just catch the wires and, my Spotify would come unplugged and the person next to me would hear my music and they'd look over and be like, what the heck's going on? So So yeah, I was just, definitely thinking there had to be a better alternative to having, some cords plugged in. And even my mom, I saw a picture of my mom when she was back in high school, and she had, headphones in. So I just said, hey, there's got to be something that's more high tech than what we're doing right now. So that's sort of where I came up with the idea.
Why hasn't some big company? We always think, we can't do things in life. We need a better product, and some big Fortune 500 company has to dream this up. And here's a kid in the dorm room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess hopefully I can get hired there at one of their R&D departments.
Why? Your company's going to be bigger than theirs.
Yeah, hopefully. I think a lot of it has to do with just the fact that sort of what I'm doing right now is pretty revolutionary stuff, and it's very cutting edge. And it's also, it's also very expensive from the standpoint of the actual cost per unit on each, order. Someone like a Beats or a Bose, they're not going to have, $250 of pure, margin on it. It's going to be a lot, tighter with something like that. So it's a lot more expensive to actually manufacture and produce these. So I think that could be, a major reason, but I guess I'm excited right now while I'm the first one, to be doing this.
That's great. So in other words, you were studying, what were you studying again? Accounting and computer science or something, or what?
I was studying economics there and computer science. I spent a lot of time working on I guess it's an older version of what they have now, the old like the old AR drones, which they've now come out with all these high tech ones where you can buy them right off the shelves. But I remember, even 3 or 4 years ago, I was actually buying the components from China and sticking them together into these, flying quadcopters. So,
wow! So you were putting together your own drones from parts you bought on Alibaba or somewhere like that in China.
Exactly. Tech, parts from Shenzhen was sort of what I was doing my freshman and sophomore year.
So then you got into this. So it really took. I mean, you're on the soccer team there. You're a full-time student. So you're doing this as your third job for the last 2 years of college. It sounded like.
Yeah. So that's sort of what I was doing. Really where the idea came in was I tore my Achilles playing soccer, and I was doing all of this rehab at the time, and I was on the treadmill in the wintertime in Virginia because I couldn't run outside. It was pretty cold or snowing, and I think this is a really good outlet because at the time I wasn't able to play soccer, and I could kind of focus my energy on school, and then as soon as I got done with classes, I'd go into looking at how I'm going to improve the headset that I had built at the time. And find the right people to make a good team.
And you said it was easy to find great people by just going on like Elance or somebody, and you found like the best people in the world to work for a fraction of the price to give you what you need.
So I think one of the things that's been really revolutionary about young people like myself, and even kind of the changing world economy, is that people can now just go online and quickly post a job posting. So one of the things that I think really helped my business get off the ground and start to go forward was I had this, I had a working prototype that was a proof of concept and that, worked and so forth, but I needed to refine that and make it look, pretty and add, all of the features, etc. So I just posted a quick, job description on an online site called Elance, and, within a week I had one of the top engineers who had just, left his job at Martin Logan and was in the process of looking for a job. Where he ended up getting hired at Garmin to work on their wearables.
Wow.
And he just felt like this is such an awesome project. Let's, move forward on it. So it was, great.
And you got it at a bargain price.
No, totally.
That's so fantastic. No, I think it's so fun in our society now. I mean, so a fellow barely out of school can start something like this, get the talent, get the money, and go on crowdfunding, and your Indiegogo thing is way over, your quota already, or your budget, or your goal, and you're still coming in. It's just fun. And so to get it though, it's GetTrex.com. That's how to get one of these things. So you'd be the first in your neighborhood, doesn't have to run down the street with those wires flopping all over your chest when you're running. And breaking cell phones in the gym when you're on the treadmills and stuff like that. Wow. And I guess what you talked about before we went on the air, that you had a boring 7 job that you're making a hell of a lot of money in the financial service industries. And that sounds like that was a big tipping point for you, that you want to really work for yourself instead of some big corporation.
Yeah, no, totally. So I kind of, as I briefly mentioned, came up with this idea, sort of in the winter, springtime, when I was, rehabbing an injury. And then, over that next summer, that coming summer, I spent, time actually putting together a lot of, tech deals for big tech companies. And I just thought to myself, hey, why can't I be, working on my own thing? And if I'm in the office until, 1 a.m. in the morning, if I put all this time into my own deal, then why can't I, hopefully someday be as successful as they are. So.
You bet. And you're there already, and you're just out of school. See, they taught you a lot. How miserable it is to work like hell for somebody else and they get all the money, right?
Yeah, totally.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. And the video is great, man. You see this? So go to Michael's website, GET, and then TREX.com. Watch the video. You see what a neat gadget you got there. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thanks so much, Matthew. Appreciate it.
All right.